Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Venus and today I am starting a reading blog. So it is Thursday, March 24th and I just got some bookish mail, so I'm gonna open it and show you guys what I got. Yay! Oh my gosh, I love it. You see? Oh, I love it. Alright, so a new Stephen King shirt to add to my collection. So in this reading vlog, I'm going to be reading The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. This is a Norse-inspired fantasy book. This is my first John Gwynne book. I wanted to start it now because I was approved for a NetGalley book for his second book in the series. I'm super excited about. NetGalley has been super generous for some reason recently with me. I've gotten like 6 approvals for books that I'm really excited about, but I've also been denied a bajillion times as well. I have not been approved for any romance books. Like, that must be super hard to get approvals for those, but lots of fantasy books and Blake Crouch's new sci-fi book Upgrade I got approved for, so I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna link a video below by, I can't think of her name, but her channel is called Bookables, and she really goes into detail about how NetGalley works and how to sign up for it. You don't need a lot. I mean, as long as you have like some platform where you share book reviews, you can start applying right away, and you will get denied at first, and as you start building your platform and doing book reviews, it seems like I've been approved for more, because last year I started this and I was denied for a bunch. So if you're interested in that, I will share a link below because she does a really good job at going through the process of how to start a NetGalley. The second book I'm going to start reading in this reading vlog is Just Haven't Met You Yet by Sophie Cousins. And this is a romance book. It was on my March TBR, so I've kind of talked about it a little bit, but this so far, the main character she's working at a company where she does like interviews for how people meet and fall in love, how they met, what's their meet cute story. And the company that she works for, I can't remember if it's like a magazine company or some kind of online platform, but they are in trouble and possibly going to be downsized. So she has been given the okay to travel to a place called Jersey in the Channel Islands over in Europe. And this book takes place in London, I think. And she wants to retell the story of how her parents fall in love, because they have like a unique story. So that's as far as I've gotten so far on this one. I like to read like a lighter book while I'm reading my fantasy books, in case the fantasy book becomes a little too intense or I need a break. So that's the plan. I might not even finish this if this other book keeps me fully focused, so we'll see. Quick change of scenery. This is a work day for me, so I am on my break right now. So I wanted to talk about Shadow of the Gods. I did start this. I am on page 42 and I am loving it so far, so much. Have you ever started a book and you immediately felt like this is going to be a 5-star read? Like 100%. That is what I'm feeling right now. I am absolutely loving John Gwynne's writing style. He is describing the setting in this like Norse environment, Norse setting, so perfectly. There are words in it that are, I guess, considered Norse words that he has italicized, and I love looking them up to see what they mean. So I've been doing that. I'm learning so much about just the Vikings and the armor that they wear, and the setting is in a fjord, which is super cool. I looked that up to see what those were, or what that looks like, and it's beautiful. I'm going to also link a video below. I found a video on YouTube of kind of like a short like tour through fjords in Norway. Absolutely beautiful. I am now putting that on my bucket list. I want to go to Norway to see all the fjords. They are beautiful. So I definitely have that image in my mind as I'm reading this book. So far there are 3 POVs. The first one is Orca. She is a wife who is living kind of in secluded and off, not part of the main village, with her husband, I think his name is Thorkin, and their son Brekka. And they recently discovered 2 dead bodies at a, I guess, like home a little further away in the woods. And they brought it back to like the, I guess the, I don't know, like city, or I guess it would be considered. I'm still kind of learning how this like world is set up. I guess it's a city. It's where there's like merchants and things like that. It's off of the water. So they bring this body, or the bodies there, to say, hey, you know, this is happening. They were not murdered by creatures. They were stabbed and murdered, and there's clearly humans that are out here doing this, so somebody needs to do something about it. And I love it because Orca is like this strong, like warrior type woman. She has like this confidence that is so like cool to read about, and she's trying to teach her son kind of that same like warrior mentality. I don't know how old he is yet. I want to say 10 or 11. So it's Orca, and then there's, I think his name is Varg, who is like a runaway slave basically, and he has just also went to a village, a different one, and he is trying to find a witch to help him avenge someone's death, is what I'm understanding. I don't know. It's so good so far. I don't want to give like a bunch of it away. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a spoiler review on this or not as I read it, but I am absolutely loving John Gwyn's writing style so much right now, because sometimes when authors like describe settings or describe things that people are wearing or anything with descriptions, it can be like too much, like where my eyes glaze over and I'm like, okay, I don't care. Like let's get to the plot. Let's get to the characters. That is not happening with this so far. The way he does it is perfect. It's perfect. And I'm intrigued by the storyline. These 3 characters. The third POV I literally just started, so I'm really not. It's a woman. She is rowing on a boat, a drakar. It's a new Norse word I learned. And they just docked at a city or islands, and that's all that I know so far. But yeah, I'm loving this book so much. I am on my break. I'm gonna go eat some breakfast, and I will check back in with you guys later. Couple days since I have last updated. I am still reading Shadow of the Gods by John Gwyn, and I'm loving it. I'm like on about page 100. The only thing I will say is there really hasn't been
much to the story. So we're still really getting to know the characters, and they haven't like gotten together or all really met up. So I'm mostly still just learning about the characters, which I'm still enjoying. I feel like John Gwynn's writing style is fantastic. His descriptions of the setting and this like Norse mythological setting that he's creating is wonderful. Very, very engaging. But I have no idea where the plot's going yet. That's where I am on that. You will see some footage. Me and my daughter went to the Goodwill. In my mind, I was gonna have this amazing book haul. Like, they were gonna have wonderful books, because all of the book haul videos that I watch, people have so much luck when they go thrifting for books. I usually do it online, so I haven't been to a Goodwill in a very, very long time. Not so much for me this time. I'm gonna show you, it was a really bad selection. They basically had books that I've never heard of, had no interest in, a lot of James Patterson books, a lot of them. I think all of Nora Roberts' books were there. And What to Expect When Expecting, I saw that quite a few times. But other than that, no. I only got 2 books. They were both Michael Connelly books. And he's like a crime thriller author, which I mentioned in my booktube newbie tag, one of my OG favorite authors. I haven't read any of his books in a while. I'm a little behind on his series. So I grabbed those. The hardcover was $1 and the paperback was 50 cents. So, I mean, I can't complain. My daughter made out though. She got a bunch of like shirts, like flannels and t-shirts. So that worked out. I did find like 2 shirts. Yeah, but other than that, not my vision that I thought I was gonna have for my books. March 29th, and I finished Shadow of the Gods last night. I wanted to kind of sit on it a little bit before I talked about it, but I loved it. I absolutely loved it. So just to recap, Norse-inspired epic fantasy with 3 POVs. So we have Alvar, Varga, and Orca. Alvar and Orca are both women, and then Varga, he is a man. He's they called their slaves in this book thralls. So Varga is a thrall. Orca was a mom. She's like hardcore warrior type. She ends up kind of going on a vengeance mission. And then Alvar, she's part of a crew as well, but she's more into it for like the fame and glory. So each point of view, they're kind of like their own stories initially, and really for most of the book, probably up until I want to say maybe the last 50 pages, all each different, their own storyline. Let's kind of reel this in a little bit. Let's start with characters. I just mentioned them, 3 POVs, and I loved each one of them. I also loved all of the side characters within their own storyline. Some more than others. Some are very funny. Some are very snarky. But I liked them. I really did. The writing style. I love John Gwynn's writing style so much. It is so engaging, even on parts that you feel like could potentially be very, very boring. He kept my interest the whole time. I actually didn't even end up picking this book back up.
at all during this reading vlog. So I'll talk about that probably in April, because I didn't even pick it up again. I just couldn't stop reading The Shadow of the Gods. John Gwynn's writing style, like I said, it's fantastic. The overall loyalty of each, like, I was getting ready to say patient, I'm in like work mode, of each character's like crew that they're within for each character line, plot line, the loyalty and the love and the brotherhood and the sisterhood that they constantly talk about. Like, I've got your back, it doesn't matter, you know, we're all here for each other. Blood family may have done us wrong in the past, but this is what it's about. Like, we are family regardless of blood. And I love that theme. I love that all the women in this book, they are warriors, they are hardcore. These are not like housewives, you know, taking care of men. They are handling their business, and it is fantastic. Let's see, what else? Pacing, I feel like it was good. It was good. I think there's definitely potential for some people to get bored with the pacing. I wasn't, but I can see where some people may complain about the pacing. I was really engaged with the characters and really the mythology behind like the fallen gods, because that's a big part of this book as well. There's like these fallen gods, like dragons, wolves, like rat gods, all kinds of different gods that got into this huge fight, and their relics and bodies were spread out across the land. That's a huge part of the magic, I would say, in this book. There's not like a hard, specific magic system. It's more about these fallen gods and their bloodlines and how the magic is kind of passed through that way. There's also kind of like a wizard type character, and he kind of talks about his magic where he was trained and it wasn't inherited from gods. So that's kind of what I got from that as far as the magic system. So nothing like a Brandon Sanderson type magic system in this book. It's more like mythological type magic. Yeah. I don't want to give any spoilers away. The second book is coming out April 12th. I already started it on my Kindle. I was super lucky to get an ARC of it. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I've already started it. And what's cool is, because I started it this morning, what's really cool is in the beginning of the book, it has all of the characters, which was not, it doesn't list the characters. There's no like glossary in the first book, but the second one has a list of all of the characters. Do not read them though. If you plan on reading the second book and haven't read the first one, do not go through the character list, because it does have, if they died or, you know, kind of twists that happen in the book, so don't do that. Don't spoil yourself. It also has like all the different gods listed out and all the Norse words that I looked up in the beginning of this vlog. John Gwynn breaks them down in the second book in the beginning, so which is cool because I already did the work, but it has a little bit more information, so it's awesome to be able to reference that. I was like, this is so great. I'm glad he added this. My only, like, I guess, con for reading this book is that it took basically the entire book until, like I said, the last 50 pages, until the characters finally started to merge and you're like figuring out what the actual plot line of the story is. Because I was like, I would read like a character's chapter, get really invested in it, and then it would jump to another character, and then another character, and then back to like the first character that it may have started about. And I was like, wait, what were they doing before? I can't remember. I would kind of get lost in their storyline, so I would have to like refresh my mind. That's the only issue. I will say for this book also, I like to read audiobooks along with like my fantasy books, but for some reason with this audiobook, I kept finding myself like drifting off. Like it would be, you know, I'd be listening to the audiobook and I'd be like, well, what should I have for dinner? I'm like just kind of like spacing out, and then I would have to rewind it and re-listen to it. So I actually found reading the actual physical copy a much better, it was just a much better experience. And then if I did listen to the audiobook, I made sure I had the book with me so I could kind of look at it. It's not like something where I can wash dishes and listen to it, because some of the names are, I don't want to say similar, but you kind of like, I'm like, wait, who is that? Wait, what happened? So that was a little difficult, so I'll say that about the audiobook. And then, yeah, just not really having the plot lines come together, but when they do, those last 50 pages, I was like, what? I read the last like 3 sentences of the book like 5 times. I was like, wait, what? Oh my gosh. So yes, 5 stars. 5 stars. I called it correctly in the beginning of this vlog. 5 stars. I get all the hype. It is fantastic. I am a John Gwynne fan for sure now. I can't wait to finish the second book. I will do a review for it for you guys. I will say this is definitely not a beginner fantasy book for someone who's beginning to read fantasy. It's epic. It's epic. It's a lot going on, and it could be hard to keep track of if you've never really read a fantasy book like that before. But you know, I mean, not to say not to, because if you're up for the challenge, then go for it. But if you're kind of nervous about fantasy, I wouldn't read this as your first fantasy book. And there was something else I wanted to say. It completely left my mind. I can't remember. Probably as soon as I turn off the camera and put away everything, it'll pop up into my brain. But if I remember it, I'll put it in the notes or the comments section. But yeah, I definitely recommend this book for fantasy lovers if you haven't already. I'm late, so most fantasy readers have already read this book. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I'm really looking forward to reading more of John Gwynne. Can't wait to finish the second book. And I will get back to this eventually. Yeah, that's all I have. This is the end of the vlog. Hope you enjoyed yourself as always. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate it. I know I say that all the time, but you literally don't even understand. I really do appreciate it. I love commenting with you guys in the comments, talking about all these books. It's truly been such a joy. So I'm very, very happy that I have started this booktube channel and stopped putting it off. So hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.